Big G, how you doing? Wow, you guys, some serious stuff just went down and I want to talk about it. Mike, how are you? So, yeah, I'm going to give credit where credit's due, and I want to tell you about the irony of all of it. Wow. Happy Memorial Day, you know. Hey, Lori, how are you? Bohika, how are you? Anthony, yeah, very interesting situation here. Hello from Idaho. Oh, Dino, that's where you're from. Idaho, right on. Happy Day. So it doesn't make a cop a hero when they do their job. Bottom line. But I was just out here making some contact with some people that I know. You were all out here with me yesterday, I believe. And you remember the name S. Watson. Because I called Denver police for response to Ruby Hill Park about the parking. Remember, and Officer Watson called me back promptly. And then he called me again and told me he wasn't going to come out. And then we met Eddie from Allied Universal. Hey, everybody. Shirley, secret agent man. We met Eddie over there at the park, and he filled us in, and he was very helpful, and everything did work out yesterday. That ended up being quite the concert. It's gridlocked this whole area in traffic last night, so poor planning, it looked like. But my friends over there were okay. Checked on them again today. They made it out of that park okay. But ironically, that same cop just showed up over here at this camp down here. Remember, we drove down here. And I think this is very important because it's very real. And I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Even though these cops piss me off and they do bad things. S. Watson showed up today. He just happened to be in the right spot at the right time. I was clear at the other end of the block having a conversation with my buddy Mike. He's an older gentleman. Love the guy. Just catching up with him. And on the other end of the block, there was chaos going on. I really didn't hear anything, but I saw some people kind of running around. I didn't think anything of it. Well, turns out they had found someone who OD'd, and they were trying to find a phone. And nobody had a phone except me. They didn't know I was down at the end of the block. I didn't know what was going on. Officer Watson just happened to be driving by. And the girl that found this individual flagged him down. And I saw him come down the street and park his car in the middle of the street and hurry out of his car. So I started walking down to the area that this was taking place. And he went right in the camper. I know this kid. He's a completely different person than what he was. And Officer Watson went in there and Narcaned him. And emergency crews showed up. The ambulance was there before the fire department, but they all worked very quick. And yeah, he finally came, Mike. I guess so. And they got him out. And he's okay. But that kid is somebody's son, and he's somebody's brother, and I know who he is, and I got in contact with his family. you know, the crisis is real. It really is. And that's, you know, why I'm starting out here again where I started out yesterday, because that's what happened to Mario as well. You know, you guys, this addiction crisis is very real. And, you know, there's not a whole lot being done from a public health crisis standpoint. We're still stuck on the fucking COVID, when all along this crisis was ramping up and getting to the point of being out of control. Yes, it's always been around, but it's reared its ugly head with people who made one bad decision, and it's an uphill battle. So I just wanted to do a quick live stream and say that and thank that officer for being so responsive. I talked to him briefly right before he left. It took me a while to put it all together. Yeah, now we'll go with the monkeypox. Some new scamdemic. While we ignore this actual, real health crisis, where the deaths are going to supersede any manufactured crisis. I still hope that the Denver PD is working diligently for justice here for this kid. I don't think anybody has a right to take advantage of anyone that's disabled. And I think that's what happened. I don't like the police at all either, Anthony. You know, you don't have to be sorry. We're all entitled to our opinions, but it is the facts. It's the facts. And I'm just putting them out there. That's all. That cop happened to be in the right place at the right time. Eventually, I would have hoped that I would have heard something and would have been able to, you know, have the phone and make the call and respond initially with Narcan, but the cop was there. So yeah, more drugs are they'll come into the area, and it's not just here. It's not just here. It's people that are housed too. It's everywhere. It's a real crisis. So, Gordy, I'll be tenacious, all right. There's not going to be any issue with that. And that's why I'm out here, just double check that cops aren't out here trying to take everybody's homes. And lo and behold, instead of, you know, causing destruction, they saved a life today. They did. And maybe they ought to use this example for exactly what protect and serve means. So, you know, it is a double-edged sword on what the public expects, you know, and for the public to expect the police to solve homelessness. The stupid thing about all of that is that I've always been on the side of the police, not to be sent out here to solve homelessness, to only end up criminalizing them. It's like the same concept of putting SROs in schools. They're never in the right place at the right time, you know, and if they were, it'd be a miracle, right? So here we are, and we have really probably a miracle that just occurred. However, if this was the reason for patrolling, if there ever was a reason for patrolling, not to be confused with trolling the homeless, this is it. This is it right here. Hey, Irish Rover. Oh, you were out here earlier, huh, MLH? Nobody said they saw you. Did you come out here to Lipan land? So, you know, this is today, I guarantee you tomorrow is going to be a different story. They're going to come out here and start hitting them hard again to start sweeping them. They got a couple days break. I was able to touch base with Jason today. He's okay. And, oh, did you do a live? Nice. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much for being out here. Cameras are good. It all starts with alcohol and the concept of the buzz. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. You know, everybody's like, you know, cigarettes are a gateway drug. Alcohol's a great gateway drug. Look, I drink alcohol and enjoy the buzz. I don't, you know. Oh, excellent, MLH. Thank you. It was early. Yeah, no one's moving before 11, ever. But that's why the cops like to go out and catch them first thing in the morning, when they're least expecting it. Nope, nobody's over at Wesley. Mike, you drank for 20 years, never did drugs. Look, not for 1 second would I pretend to be able to come out here on the streets and avoid all of the despair. You know, that these are like coping mechanisms. Wow, my hair. Woo! I got wild hair today. The wind's blowing like 100 miles an hour. To be an alcoholic and have an alcohol addiction, yeah, that is the worst. And that is a very slow and very horrific, painful way to die. And I've seen it firsthand, and it ain't pretty. Not that this is any prettier, but it is faster. It's very catastrophic. This young man, he's young. And I've tried to help him, and he's just not all that receptive. Do I think he doesn't have a right to survive? Absolutely not. And do I condone the city or government coming out here and telling him he can't live and that they're going to take his shit? No, I don't. I never will. I never will. Yeah, Jamie, it's the truth. Alcohol poisoning is it's a real thing. And there's a balance in it, right? I mean, the withdrawals, you'll die. So, but we don't have a lot of alcoholics out here. I'm just going to be honest with you. We just don't. The war on drugs is one of our government's biggest cash cows. Boom, right there. Of course it is. And it's never going to end. The war on drugs. Should a person have a right to do with their body as they choose? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I'm not opposed to the legalization of drugs. I'm just not. I think it's done more harm just legalizing marijuana. Legalize them all. Get it over with. There will be less of this. Yeah, they are, David. Drugs won the war a long time ago, and they continue to. And the more war we put on it, here we go. So, but at any rate, that's a true story. Officer Watson saved that kid's life today. He did. And he acted quickly. I watched the whole thing go down. I feel terrible that I didn't connect what was going on, but it got handled. And it was really a miracle happening right there. Everything came together as it needed to. So But this young man that I've tried to help, you know what he needs? He needs a man in his life. He doesn't need me. His issues are fighting with his mom constantly. Okay? She's trying to do right by him. He's shut all that down. He needs a man in his life. His brother can get him to respond, but his brother has to live too. And I don't think anyone truly understands what it's like to deal with addiction and homelessness of a loved one unless they're living it firsthand. And it takes a toll on you and your life, and you can only give so much. So if anyone wants to work on being a friend to this kid, let me know. But I need a man. I need a man that can follow through. That's what a lot of these guys need, is more men in their lives. And that's the truth. Does anybody know? Has anybody been having problems with chat during live streams? I seem to keep losing the chat and not able to bring it back up. I wait a minute or so and it comes back up, you know? I don't know what's going on, but I ended that stream yesterday because chat wasn't working. It's not the lagging, Irish Rover, it just disappears. The lagging, yes, but for me, anybody else doing streaming? Really? Okay. So it's a YouTube thing, it's not me. All right. I just want to make sure. All right, yeah. All right, Shirley, then it's definitely a YouTube thing. But anyway, not much has changed out here. Secret agent man, you're listening, huh? Yeah, those things are kind of hard to watch, but I will tell you that I know him well enough that he's going to be okay. He was fighting when they left, so he was fine. Luckily, literally. So I hope you guys are enjoying the day and the weekend, and I think I'm going to call it a day now and go finish enjoying the rest of my day. I've been out here for a while understanding all the dynamics of what took place while I was gone, and I've finally been able to figure out who's calling me from jail and in a different county. I couldn't even figure out what county it was, so I got to see what I can do for this little lady. I got it going on bright today, Shirley. I love this pullover. I love these things. Thank you. So, you guys, please, could you get your warrants cleared? Get your warrants cleared. And don't associate yourself with people that are insistent on continuing to go to jail. Please. Please. Because if you've committed a crime against another, I can't help you. You get thrown in jail by association with a litany of warrants that you had a year to clear up. I told every one of you I'd help you. And now you'd rather go to jail and call me? Come on, you guys, give me a break. Seriously. It's cruel. Secret agent man, I used to live in Denver back in the 80s. It hurts to see what Denver has become. Well, yeah, It does. I'm a native, and I've seen this state go from pretty much an open field to, wow, what the hell? Hey, Lenny, I'm doing all right. Thank you for your donation. Oh, and if anybody wants to donate to the nonprofit, all the ways to do so are in the About section, please. The nonprofit definitely needs money. So outreach is very minimal. And like I said yesterday, there's only so much I can do to focus on certain individuals to get them off the street, but that takes money. And, you know, there's always a need out here. So today's takeaway is that Officer Watson from yesterday, who never showed back up to Ruby Hill, showed up here today. He was in the right place at the right time, and he saved a life. He saved the life of a young man who most definitely had no intentions of ODing, okay? And it's fact. And I think it's worthy to highlight, not that this changes or negates any of the horrible shit that they do on a daily basis, because they do. But I think this is very important to highlight that this is the definition to protect and serve. That's not what's going to go on starting tomorrow morning. There will be no protecting and serving. There will be serving a can of whoop ass. That's what will be commencing tomorrow morning. And so I'll be paying attention to that. But like I said, for this young man, he needs a man in his life. So if someone wants to be that, let me know, and I will connect you, and maybe you can make some progress. Yeah, the junk is bad news, and these blues, you guys, why? Why do you want to test it? For those of you that I know, you took the plunge, you're not even the same person anymore. I can't trust you. A couple of you have done some not good things to me because you became new people. You're not going to get anywhere on it, and you're going to die. That's what's going to happen to you. So find one of us in the right setting and be serious about getting off of it, because it's going to kill you. And this is not to be taken as everybody out here is a drug addict. Because as a matter of fact, the conversation that I was having with the gentleman while all this was going down is an older man. He's not hooked on any drugs. There's a whole separate thing going on there. And I love the guy, and he's peaceful. And he just needs a little bit of support. But yes, there are issues out here. And private charity needs to step the hell up. Come on. You know, Jamie, the whole thing on that, though, is if you can't want to change if you can't ever get to a point of coherent thought, okay? And that's what these blues are doing. That's what this fentanyl, I mean, this shit is the most evil of evil when you talk about taking over heart, mind, and soul. And to be able to have the professional experience to know how to handle it, when to address it, when to help these people, we don't have it. We don't have it. That's the problem. So even for those that might have a lucid moment and go, fuck, I can't take this anymore, I got to do something, boom. If we're not capitalizing on those moments, it's a spiral. It's a horrific spiral. This is a whole new level of self-medicating. Not that it hasn't been around. Yes, I get that. But don't tell me the potency of things hasn't changed over time, because it has. And these are dangerous, toxic chemicals. So there's a lot of discussion to be had about the amount of professionalism and wraparound it takes, the professional background and wraparound it takes to capture these people at the right time. So if they have a lucid moment, they have enough friends out here to be able to connect with an advocate that's going to help them. I will say that for these particular areas. So you don't have fentanyl in Scotland? I bet you do, but you're right. It's probably not a problem yet. So a lot of people fell on hard times. I'm meeting people left and right, living in their cars because they've lost their places. It's just going to keep increasing. And Denver's just going to keep putting up no parking signs and threatening to take people's homes in response. That's what Denver's going to do about it. So, cool. It's not going to work. So, yeah, Jamie, you're right. Oh, all right. Well, you guys, if there's anything else, let me know. If you have any questions. I showed you what was going on pretty much yesterday when we did a drive through of here, but I do want to highlight Mario again, and this was a very, very young life lost way too soon because there really was a predator here. And somebody connected this child with some drugs that killed him. So, and I hope his family gets justice. I really do. Hey, K-Dot, how you doing? So, again, you all have a wonderful rest of your holiday weekend, and go out and do what you can for someone. And MLH, thank you again for being out here this morning. I didn't see it. We were probably missing each other. So, thank you. Of course, Anthony, you know, of course. All right, you guys. You like my hair? I need to color my hair. Now you can really see how old I am. Nobody's telling me I look like I'm 30. All right. Bye, guys.